Adam to be followed by Elaine Murray.
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I welcome the fact that we all recognise the importance of science education, how it can equip our young people with knowledge and skills to contribute to society and, as Liz Smith has already said, to our economy. But improving science, technology, engineering and mathematics education is a key priority of the Curriculum for Excellence, enabling new and exciting opportunities to make schools science education stimulating and exciting to all pupils. And this, Presiding Officer, brings me to a discussion I had towards the end of last year with the Head of Engineering Technology School in the University of the West of Scotland. As many will know, that the campus in Paisley was a technical college, and engineering is the very heart and soul of the university, or it should be at least anyway. And he actually mentioned during the discussion that the problem they had was encouraging people, once they explained the career path, once they explained how the young people could move on in life with the potential, then it wasn't so difficult to recruit. So they had to find different ways to recruit and interest young people into engineering in particular and technology. And that was something as well that came up during the evidence we got recently from the Learner Societies group, where they mentioned computer science at one point. But the problem with computer science was there wasn't many young people wanting to actually teach computer science, but they were getting in a car or a bus or a train to Dundee to make the next computer game so that they could be in that industry. And I think that is probably part of the issue that we're dealing with here as well, is how can we make this interesting that these same young people want to actually teach as a future. So what we're saying with some of the evidence that came from the Learned Societies group, you know, we had the situation where the report that they did last year, it was only a small percentage. It was only 2% of Scottish primaries and 13% of secondaries that were involved. But this is important to bring it up because they were the Learned Societies group, coming from a scientific background, they knew that their report wasn't evidence-based to the extent that they could confidently say everything was right. So I think the government is quite right to bring up the fact that there was... Unfortunately, I don't have as much time, I would love to, Mr MacArthur, but I can't at this stage. So in their evidence, they actually said as well, Stuart Farmer said of the Learned Societies group, the basic knowledge in science subjects I think is taught well. Lots of people are seeing positive benefits for studying science. And I think one of the things that agreed is how do we get to where we want to be? Because we need to ensure that young people are aware of the potential future that they could have for young men and women in this as well. And the Cabinet Secretary, it's been mentioned already, but she brought up the fact that there wasn't such a thing as a girl's or a boy's job. And I think we have to make sure that we move away from that when we're talking about STEM subjects as well, because it's important that we get everyone from all types of backgrounds as well. But in the case, one of the briefings that we received for this debate was from NUS, and my colleague Christian Allers already mentioned it. NUS Scotland said, we have seen a strong focus on welcome action and widening access in the last few years, and the current drive to improve participation and attainment across Scottish education is welcome. However, we must build on this not only for STEM but more generally for post-16 education as a whole. I think for me, the debate we had last week on attainment, this for me is the real life-changing debate we have. We have a situation now where the Scottish Government has committed themselves to the Scottish Attainment Challenge and the Attainment Fund, where they're going to be investing in people from difficult backgrounds to ensure that they get that opportunity. And I think when we're having this debate, yes, let's make sure, like NUS Scotland say, let's make sure that we're talking about the STEM subjects, but let's not forget about everything else that's happening out there in education and ensure that we encourage everyone to be all they can and pursue whatever career they want in the future.
Many thanks.